don't say no, you're going to drown. You're going to drown, and you're not going to be able to get out that. You're not going to be able to get out, right? And once you start drowning, the same people who are asking for your help aren't going to be able to pull you up because they can't pull themselves up. So,
am I really that much? And breaking these niggas down like a camera. You don't really just blow you up.
Hello, babies. My name is Silent Red. I'm the creativepreneur. Every week, I bring you business tips and tricks on how to create or how to maintain your creative business. So today is Motivational Monday. Motivational Monday. Just when I kind of talk to you guys like my best friends. I don't really edit these videos, nothing like that, unless I put like a little picture or something in here. So it's raw, uncut. There's going to be stuttering. There's going to be mistakes. But I feel like these conversations are important to have because although I bring you business tips and tricks to help you in your business or your creative business or like your Airbnb rentals, being an entrepreneur is more than just tips and tricks, because I don't care how many tips and tricks that you use, you're going to have real human emotions and stuff like that. You're going to go through things spiritually, you're going to go through things emotionally, you're going to go through things mentally, and I want you guys to know you're not alone in that aspect at all. So my channel supports my channel not only supports your financial well-being, but also your physical and mental and spiritual well-being as well. So with that being said, today's video is a little bit controversial for me, and it really hurts to make, and I'm putting my business out there, so that's also like what kind of hurts and stuff like that. But I figure I'm not the only ones that's having these issues. I'm not the only one that's having these problems. I just have to stretch my back. I don't know what it is, y'all, but ever since I turned 30, like my back is just going like that shit hurt for no reason. But today's video is a little bit controversial for me, and I really had a hard time making because it is a deep subject that hurts me, but I know that it affects most entrepreneurs. And this video is going to be about family and saying no to your family and having to cut off ties with your family. So it's going to seem like I'm gossiping, but the best way I can give you an example for you to improve on your relationship with your family is to talk about my family. So if you're in my family and you see this, oh fucking well. So but with that being said, I'm gonna just go ahead and jump in this video. So I'm gonna start by telling you guys a story, and I'm just gonna be very blatant with it. I don't care if my mother sees it and gets mad, right? My mom is not a bad person, okay? I want y'all to understand that. My mom is not a bad person. My parents are not bad people. They've been there for me since I was a baby, you know, because that's what parents do. I feel like I was loved. I feel like my parents weren't perfect, but whose parents are? You get what I'm saying? But now that I've enlighten myself more, I became an entrepreneur, and when it comes to being an entrepreneur, your mental state changes. So you're not the same person that this person raised. You're like unless you come from a family of entrepreneurs, which I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I am the only entrepreneur in my family that I know of, okay? So especially first generation, like in my household, neither one of my parents were entrepreneurs, neither one of their parents were entrepreneurs, neither one of their parents was entrepreneurs. So I don't have that example placed around me. I kind of just went off into the world and pulled that conclusion out of thin air, basically. Like I seen people I wanted to be like on social media. In my paths of crossing, going to different places, I've met other entrepreneurs and stuff like that. I've dated other entrepreneurs and stuff like that, which then turned me into an entrepreneur. I didn't even know what entrepreneurship was growing up, right? So with that being said, my parents don't quite understand entrepreneurship. Like they don't understand it at all. Like their thing is get a good job, get a state job, get a federal job, get some type of job with benefits, or go to school and get a degree and have a career. Like, and not even go to school and get a degree, because none of them have degrees. Like for 3 generations, like my mom's mom, none of them have degrees. They either got a good state job, went to the army, or a good federal job, or learned a trade. So that's how they get their money, right? Which is nothing wrong with that. I've never went starving. We never been on welfare or food stamps or anything like that. My parents could never qualify for them, right? I know this for a fact because my mom will always complain about that, but that's neither here nor there, right? So they don't understand entrepreneurship and the concept of entrepreneurship. They don't understand having money outside of a job. They don't understand what it takes to have money outside of a job, right? They don't understand that just because you have $10,000 a day, that $10,000 could easily be $1,500 tomorrow. they don't have that concept. So I want to give you that backstory before I start and telling you about what happened with my family and how to deal with your family when it happens, because it will, right? So they don't understand entrepreneurship. So I constantly try to explain to my mom that I can't really be her pillar. So even though you see me spending all this money buying buildings, going on vacations, like doing all this certain stuff, does not mean I can give you money constantly. There's been times where I have given her money. There's been times where I have paid utility bills, I've paid medical bills, I've given money for fun and stuff like that, expensive birthday gifts, things like that. And I love doing those things, and I appreciate doing those things in my family. But it comes a certain point where, especially right now, where I'm trying to expand my business, trying to build my business, and I'm trying to pay back business debt so that I can get more business loans, so I can build bigger businesses and take more risks and stuff like that, because now I have my footing a little bit more versus in my first few years of entrepreneurship, right? She's not understanding that when I'm telling her I don't have it, I'm not trying to be selfish. I don't have it for that. You get what I'm saying? Like, my business is to support myself and to follow my dreams. It was never to support my whole family. When I have the resources to support my whole family, out of my generosity and the kindness of my heart, I will support my own family, or at least help them out a little bit. But I don't have, in the process of building, I need to save all my money, reinvest my money. So if I'm constantly paying out to two able-bodied people who have jobs and stuff like that, and I'm constantly giving them money because they're saying they're falling behind in bills and stuff like that, that's money that's not coming back to me, right? That's not money I can reinvest. That's not money that's making me more and more money. That's kind of like throwing my money in the trash. And you're like, well, Siren, they need this and need that. But my parents aren't older. You understand? Like, when your parents are older and they're to that point where, okay, they're like damn near 80 years old, they got to go to a home and all that stuff, insurance, that's different. My parents are in their late 40s, early 50s. Some people are just getting started in their careers at that age. So it's like, when you're able-bodied and you're able to take care of yourself, you have to take care of yourself. That's how this world works. You cannot rely on somebody else. So I say this to say, you guys, as an entrepreneur, when you start getting money, you're going to have friends and family that reach out to you, and they're going to expect you to help them financially. They're going to expect you to always show up to every event that they have, or have all this extra time to spend time with them. And those are sacrifices that you're going to have to make. You're going to have to learn how to say no. You're going to have to learn how to say no, and it's going to hurt to say no, and people are going to make you feel bad for having to say no. But if you don't say no, you're going to drown. You're going to drown, and you're not going to be able to get out that. You're not going to be able to get out, right? And once you start drowning, the same people who are asking for your help aren't going to be able to pull you up, because they can't pull themselves up. So think of it like this. I'm gonna give it this analogy. Let's say I'm a fisherman, right? Let's say me and my friend got on a boat. Right? My friend somehow ends up overboard, right? They end up overboard, and I have to help them, right? And they're drowning. And I'm throwing rope to them, and they're just not catching the rope. They're not catching the rope. Like, I already threw the rope, so you got to catch the rope and pull yourself up. Already gave you a little bit of help. You got to pull yourself up. And they're just refusing to do it. And they're just like, oh, I'm drowning. What help is it for you to jump over that boat as well, knowing you can't swim either, or not, at least not ready to swim yet either, in this deep of water, and you're drowning, your ass is drowning out with them? How are you going to help them if you're right next to them drowning? You get what I'm saying? So that's the analogy I use. Like, if somebody's already drowning, you gave them multiple lifelines already, or let me say this, you're also not obligated to give them any lifeline, right? But let's say you did, because I have, right? You gave them multiple lifelines before, you helped them before, but they just keep drowning. Even if it's not like every single day, even if it's not every single month, even if it's 1 or 2 times a year, it's like, I don't want an extra bill I had to pay for 1 or 2 times a year. I already have plans for my money, already have accounts and stuff where my money is supposed to be going. Like, I already had these things lined up. I cannot put everything at risk because you need a couple dollars when I already gave you a lifeline, right? So your emergency is not my emergency, and you have to have that mindset. And I know it hurts, because like, oh, I want to be there for the people I love. The best way you could be there for the people you love is to make it. The best way you could be there for the people for the love, for you to be financially stable to the point where somebody can ask you for money and you're not thinking about it. You're like, okay, you need $500. Oh, I got $500. I'll spend $500 on a pair of shoes. yes, you can have $500, right, to pay your electric bill. But if you're still like trying to get your foot in, you're like, okay, yeah, I made $1,000 in profit. Let me save half of it, right? And I don't want to give the $500 that I made to my mom because I want to go buy courses with that. I want to go invest in more systems. I want to get a virtual assistant to help me with this month, right? Versus just giving me some money for somebody they can take out their own loans or figure out whatever side hustle or how they can come up with getting the money themselves. So don't feel like you guys have to stress yourself out when it comes to you making money as an entrepreneur and everybody starts seeing it. That's what's going to happen. So I just make this video to say is you're not a bad person. Saying no does not make you a bad person. Saying no does not make you a bad person. Saying no does not make you a bad person. Deciding to help yourself before you help everyone else does not make you a bad person. Does not make you a failure as an entrepreneur. Does not make you a failure as a daughter. Do not make you a failure as a wife. Do not make you a failure as a husband. It does not make you a failure. It's one thing if you're asking for handouts for everybody else to start your business, which you shouldn't be on this channel because I'm teaching you how to do it yourself, right? And then somebody's asking for help or asking you to pay them back. That's different, right? But asking somebody just blatantly asking you because they feel like they raised you, or like when you first started your business, my mom said, oh, because I used the address there when I first started my business or whatever. Because I used the address there, but when I first started my business, I lived there. Why wouldn't I use the address that I lived at if I needed to get important mail? Like certain stuff, or like when I need to get some Amazon packages delivered because I live in an apartment and they live in a house. So you're telling me because I use I use your address to send Amazon packages, I'm obligated to give you all this type of money, to pay all these type of bills for something that doesn't cost you anything? No. Okay, bet. I'm gonna start using the Amazon lockers. You get what I'm saying? So that you have to really be careful with that, and you cannot make people allow you to feel bad and you're spending extra money and you're going over budget and stuff because your family has become another bill. Okay, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help you. That's not going to propel you forward, and it's going to be a lot of wasted money. Because at the end of the day, if somebody wants to pull themselves up the same way that you're pulling yourself up with starting your creative business or taking your creative talent more seriously, that it makes money, is the same thing that they can do for themselves as well. Okay, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. I don't want you to get weighed down by not being able to help others or deciding that you just don't want to help others right now or maybe ever in the future. Okay, either or is okay. But with that being said, that is your reading. My name is Siren Red. I'm the Creativepreneur. This is Motivational Monday, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.